Mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test. 1, 2, 1, 2. I think we're good. I think we're live. Yeah, mic, mic, mic. Yep, everything looks okay. Um, what's up, everyone? It's been, I think, like 5, 6 days since I last streamed. It was a pretty busy week for me. A lot of things for me to do. Um, so I do apologize for the hiatus. Um, but yeah, that's. Give me one moment. Just gotta. I guess I just put it right here then. But yeah, it was a pretty busy week for me. Um, Staying really busy with my studies and things like that. So I haven't really been able to stream like I would like to. But I mean, again, I don't think I'm in too big of a rush. But yeah, today we're gonna pick up from where we left off last time, and we're going to yeah, we're gonna get it right into enumerating FTP. And if you don't know what FTP is, FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. And so what is File Transfer Protocol? Let's find out what File Transfer Protocol is. Okay. As the name suggests, a protocol, FTP is a protocol used to allow remote transfers of files over a network. It uses a client-server model to do this, and as we'll come on to later, relays commands and data in a very efficient way. Okay, so how does FTP work? A typical FTP session operates using two channels, a command, sometimes called the control channel, and a data channel. As their names imply, the command channel is used for transmitting commands as well as uh, replies to those commands, while the data channel is used for transferring data. FTP operates using a client-server protocol. The client initiates a connection with the server validates whatever login credentials are provided, and then opens the session. While the session is open, the client may execute FTP commands on the server. Um, and we'll see what those FTP commands are. Um, there's active versus passive. So uh, the FTP server may support either active or passive connections. In an active FTP connection, the client opens a port and listens. The server is required to actively connect to it. In a passive FTP connection, the server opens a port and listens, and the client connects to it. This separation of command information and data into separate channels is a way of being able to send commands to the server without having to wait for the current data transfer to finish. If both channels were interlinked, you could only enter commands in between data transfers, which wouldn't be efficient for either large files or slow internet connections. Whoops. So basically, FTP, just another file server essentially, where it's just a server where you can where the client can upload or retrieve files, and it's pretty efficient. Um, and the standard port for the FTP is 21. Um, just like we've always talked about in the last couple of streams, in the well-known ports, FTP is generally found on 21. If I'm not mistaken, though, FTP port. Yeah, so FTP has 20 and 21. So the control, the one that we just talked about, um, well, right here, the they use two channels, right? So this one right here, the command channel, That's usually used on port 21, and then the data channel is used on port 20. So in today's stream, we're gonna go and exploit this. Go ahead and exploit ourselves. We're gonna go ahead and attack this FTP server. Thanks to TryHackMe for providing this this server. So what we're always gonna do, what we what we always do is before when we always start enumerating and doing reconnaissance, we always use our handy dandy tool Nmap. And so we're gonna go ahead and Nmap this bad boy up. So today Nmap, I'm gonna use flag SV, service and version, give me an aggressive, um, and what you call it. And today's target is 1010, 255, 119. And I want to put it in the background. And this could take a minute. This will probably take a while, actually. Um, and I guess, well, that was actually really fast. It says one port is open. I don't think that's true, actually, though. I don't think that's actually true. Let's see. Let me see what other flags we can use. Let me try that scan one more time, and then maybe I can um, use a different flag, actually. Hmm? What? What in the world? So, let me open up a new tab for you, and then Okay, yeah. So let me show you. So let me actually see. Uh, I really wish I could find you guys a great way to show you what this Nmap. Oh, let me see if I can find something better. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that the Nmap out is just more of a uh, verbose scan. Hence why we were able to find two ports open versus the first scan, which only found one. But as you can see, yeah, there's two ports open. 21 being FTP and number 80 being HTTP. And for today's lab, we're more concerned with the FTP. Um, and the version that is running is this VSFTPD. So we can actually see if we can log in to the if this server is not misconfigured, but if this server does allow if it has its default settings on, most likely it will allow us to FTP in anonymously. So we can try doing that by typing in ftp.255.19, and I believe we don't have to put in a user. We can just log in. Type in anonymous and then hit enter without putting a password in, and we got the 230 code. We're logged in successfully. So We can use help. And let's see what we got here. We have an ls command. We do have an ls command, so I'm gonna go ahead and ls. And look at that, we got a public noticed. So I'll go ahead and believe just get that right. Yeah, so I can just get that. Uh, and we have it right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cat. mm, Pipe it into less. And let's see. Hello. I hope everyone is aware the FTP server will not be available over the weekend. We'll be carrying out routine system maintenance. Backups will be made to my account, so I recommend encrypting any sensitive data. Cheers, Mike. Alright, so we have a possible user, Mike, and let's see what we can do with that information. Let's see what we can do with. Alright, so we go over a bit. Um, Types of FTP exploits. Similar to Telnet, when using file transfer protocol, both the command and data channels are unencrypted. Any data sent over these channels can be intercepted and read. That's the problem with FTP, is that data is being sent in plain text. So if there was a threat actor, somehow man in the middling with maybe like a packet sniffer, they could easily port mirror and intercept those packets and just be able to see what the heck is going on. Um, so that is the reason why we don't use FTP, and primarily we use something called SFFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol, or Secure Shell File Transfer Protocol, because that is encrypted. So we're gonna use a tool called Hydra. It's an amazing tool. Like, it's crazy. It's basically a brute force, uh, basically a brute force password cracker. Um, so, and then the cool thing is they're gonna give us the syntax here. So, yeah. So let's when looking at the FTP server from the position we find ourselves in this, and for this machine, an avenue we can exploit is maybe a weak or default password. So, we're gonna try to brute force our way into this. Um, yeah, we're gonna try to brute force our way into the FTP server. Um, Yada. Hydra is a very fast thing. Here Hydra comes the default. Okay, if you need to find it, blah blah blah. The syntax. So, so again, we're gonna try to Hydra. Let me quit out of this. So we're gonna Hydra try to get into this. So let me go ahead and write the syntax for us. sorry. That should be Mike. Um, so the T4 is going to be the number of connections per target. L standing for the user, and we believe the username is Mike. We're going to give it a P flag, and then we're going to give it a file to use to this file is pretty much going to contain a list of common passwords and usernames and things like that. And it's basically Hydra is going to use that TXT file and just run it until it finds until it gets a successful authentication. So the path is going to be user share word lists rock.txt. We're going to do double V for super verbose. We want to see like everything that decides to do. We want pretty much all the details, and we're going to give it the IP address and then FTP. And if I did this right, and that was quick. That was really quick. You see that? The password's password. That's pretty fast. Thought it was gonna be much longer than that, but yeah, here you go. So as we saw, Hydra used this TXT file rocku, and we got ourselves a successful authentication. Um, and so we know that the password is password. Uh, Again, it's usually not this simple. Um, but for the sake of just getting our feet wet and just diving in, um, and we're just trying to learn how to use these tools too. So now we know that the login is Mike and the password is password. Let's go ahead and FTP back in. Last time we anonymously uh, logged in. This time we actually have the credentials. So we're going to type in Mike as the user and password as password. Login successful. Let's see what we got. And ls. And we got an ftp.txt file. So let me go ahead and get that. Actually, maybe can I cat that? Unfortunately, I can't, so I have to get it actually. So ftp.txt. All right. ls ftp.txt. What is and there's our flag. What is so yeah, there's our flag. And that should be it. And yeah. So that was network services part 1. Um I think the plan now is to go through network services 2, and we'll go through network file system. That's a Windows thing, simple mail transfer protocol, and then MySQL. And then we'll finish with network services 2. And pretty much we would have gotten our hands pretty dirty with Nmap. And hopefully you guys are understanding better how Nmap works and really how really good of a tool it can be, especially if you know what you're doing with it. So yeah, the I guess the plan is network file system next. Um, Not sure when the next time I'll stream. I'll try my best and um, try to stream at least within the next 5 days. Hopefully, just depends on my schedule. Um, Also, kind of want to do Advent of Cyber as well. Um, but I really feel like I'd rather just like focus on one thing than like going and doing multiple things. Like we're learning Nmap, and then for me to like throw a curveball and then try to get into um, going into cookies and learning how to use these cookies and things like that. I don't know. I really gotta figure that out. But for sure, the plan is to uh, knock out or start network services part two, and then a part of me wants to maybe um, Cisco is offering this thing called so Cisco has this program called Netacad, and and they have this program called program called Packet Tracer, and and I'm thinking about maybe you know teaching and going over networking um, in part with learning, you know, using these tools, but like honestly, I'm learning myself. I'm still a student of this game, and one thing that I am realizing is that um, you you really need to know your networking, and so um, I already finished this, but like they say, the best way to know if you actually know what you're talking about or know what is if you can actually teach it. Um, I would say I don't know if networking essential is free. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's free. Well, this one's a free course. Introduction to Cybersecurity. That's a free course. So I mean, they have a bunch of free stuff here actually. Introduction to Cybersecurity, that's free. Introduction to IoT, Entrepreneur, um, Programming Essentials in Python, free. You want to learn how to. This is actually pretty cool. Actually, I didn't even know that they had this. Actually, might have to. I actually might have to sign up for this one. This one's pretty sweet. That's actually pretty cool. I already finished Linux Essentials. That is free. Um, Network Essentials, as you saw. This one, yeah. So this is free. Um, and then Linux Essentials, as you guys saw. Um, as you guys saw, I already finished Networking Essentials, and I finished Linux Essentials. I finished it. Just waiting for Cisco to go ahead and give me the completion. But yeah, I didn't even realize they had a Python course, so I might actually do that. But um, yeah, maybe I'm thinking about you know, te not teach. I mean, like um, I don't know, going over and reviewing networking again, because the networking is very, 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 very important when it comes to cybersecurity. So yeah, that's the plan. So maybe yeah. So yeah, as you guys can see, like there's a lot going through my brain right now. Um, Definitely want to um, start network services part two, start admin a cyber, and then maybe even get into networking. Um, I think that would be a great. I think that's a really good plan. So uh, whenever I stream again, decide which one that we'll do. Um, but yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Again, I'm streaming these uh these walkthroughs and lectures. It's just for me to be able to document and upload later on to maybe a blog and just be a proof of concept. So appreciate every single one of you who stopped by to watch. Means a lot. And till the next time, peace.